Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and I'm sitting here with Blayde.
Hello guys.
What we're going to do is talk about the best of the best. An overview of the year, taking into account some of the events that we've done at CAS, the shows that we've attended as a business. We're also going to talk about some of the cars that have been through the workshop. So there's a lot to cover in this video. Should we get started?
Let's go for it.
So let's talk about CAS events, the car and coffee events. 4 years of events, that's a lot of events, that's a lot of people coming with different cars, different genre of cars, into the showroom, into the car park and so on. And it's changed quite a lot this year. In previous years, we've tried some different events based on requests from you guys and some of the people that have been here. They haven't worked as well, so we've kind of stuck to what we know best.
Yeah.
So we've hosted 6 events this year at CAS. We've got one more to host, which will be on the channel towards the end of December. So, Blayde.
Yes.
CAS events.
So I would probably say what was a very good one, although I don't actually think I was here, but looked like a very, very good show, very good turnout and very good variety of cars, was the Night Vibes meet.
Is that because of the host? Oh, that was Palm, that wasn't me. Take that back. Okay. Yeah, that was a different event in the sense it was an evening event.
Yes, yeah, so definitely something different for us, and it was quite a cool one. Even just watching the videos, I wasn't there, but watching the videos back and looking at all the different varieties of cars, and the video started in the daytime and ended up in the night time. And yeah, just all the LED lights, it was a cool vibe. So that's definitely on the short list, even though I wasn't actually there. Second one, for the variety of cars as well, probably the West London Car and Grill event, because that was a good one. That was another evening show, really nice variety of cars, classics, modern cars, standard cars and modern,
Is that
modified cars.
We had the bar, didn't we?
Yeah. So that was a really, really nice one. It's nice to have, I quite enjoy the evening ones, even though it's staying a bit later, but it works really, really nice it brings out a few nice cars.
Evening events work well when it's a warmer climate.
Yeah, definitely.
Because otherwise people aren't really going to walk around with jackets on and stuff. So for me, my favourite 2 events, and I'm going to stick with one that Blayde has chosen, which is the WLC West London Classics event. That was fantastic, again for the same reasons, it's a nice mix of cars and obviously the community as well. But I actually love the Mercedes event, and that's always a good show here because it's with the Mercedes-Benz Club of GB, and we always have a good mix of classic, modern classic and new cars, and this year was no different. So yeah, those 2 events stand out for me. And we also charge at these events. So anyone that rocks up to show a car, we charge them £6, and all that money gets put into a pot, and at the end of the year, we choose a charity and we donate that money. So that's always a good cause. Now, from the CAS events, a few cars, maybe 2 cars, maybe 3 cars that really stand out from this year, from the events.
So I've done a kind of top 2 shortlist. The top 2 from the events, the first one being that orange Mark II Escort from Night Vibes.
Oh yes.
So that thing looked mental. It looked really, really cool. And obviously Palm spoke to the owner, I think his name was Andy. Yeah, really cool guy, done all the work himself. It's all custom work and custom grills in the car and stuff like that. It's just a really, really cool vibe, and it is kind of race car spec-ish. So there's that, and then the next one being Gulu's 964.
Oh yes.
964. But just generally the colour of that car on that particular body of car, just...
The car that spits flames,
yes.
But is no longer green.
Yes, I think he's actually changed the colour now.
He's changing the colour. But yeah, it's a great car.
Yeah.
It's great that actually you've chosen 2 cars that I wouldn't necessarily choose. Now, I love the Porsches, but because I've seen Gulu's car so many times, that's not on my top list.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm going to choose a curveball here. The Saab 900 Turbo Carlson.
Okay.
That came to, I think it was the WLC event.
Yeah, I think it was.
In white, gentleman called Adam, not on social media. He owns like 20 Saabs. He's just, wow, what a car, what a guy. And that car was the car that was featured in, I think, in Autocar magazine. In period, he had the actual Autocar magazine, and it was that car, fully restored, nut and bolt resto. And I mean, how many Saab 900 turbos have you seen come into the CAS car park? Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So that, and the fact it's a Carlson, which is rare, and
Yeah.
there's not many cars that can pull off 3-spoke wheels. No. And the other car is going to be, it's got to be a Porsche, but it's a backdate. It's a gentleman called Joe. I think he came to our Totally German meet in a backdate 3.2.
Yes, I think it's
A bit gnarly,
Yeah.
you know, not something he's built, rest mod that he's bought, but he's going to put his own touches on it. But really good car with some nice ingredients, and you know, he uses it for road trips and so on. So for me, the standout car has to be the Saab.
Yeah, I think my standout of the two is the Mark II.
Okay.
So 2 old school cars.
I think there's no point trying to have an argument here with Blade. So maybe you guys can decide. There's pictures on the screen of both cars. Let's get a poll out. Which is the car of the CAS events of 2024? And I'll tell you what, whichever one gets the most votes, we'll find the owner's details and we'll send him a Maguire's goodie bag or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm sure Tom will send us a Maguire's goodie bag, which we can forward on. So now going into 2025, and is there anything maybe you, from your standpoint, being forward-facing, customer-facing, that we could bring in terms of a different genre or an event at CAS?
Some sort of base event.
That's actually on my list, and you know, obviously you're now doing the S3 build with the Orion subs. There's been a lot of interest this year around bass and audio, and most definitely we will have bass events back at CAS. So before you joined, when we were in the old shop, we used to hold SPL days at CAS once every 2 months or so, and we used to get a good crowd down. We had the SPL meter out, and we just I think we're charging £5 or £10. You get a certificate, you get a proper reading, and so on. So we'll do something for 2025. Expect to see a lot more audio in terms of events at CAS. Right, so moving on from CAS events, we're going to now move on to global events. When I say global, it's not just UK. CAS attends events outside of the UK. Well, myself and Palm did, but we'll get into that in a moment. So in terms of CAS attended events, I think we 7 or 8 in 2024. Some are CAS, some are as Airlift, some are as Slam. And in most cases, Blade has done a walk around video. In some cases, there's been 2 or 3 videos where you've selected cars. So they're all on the channel. Now, the good thing about these events is there's a great diversity. So some of them tend to be German, like Ultimate Dubs. Gravity petrol-led, isn't it?
Yeah, I think those two would be probably the top 2 for diversity, I think.
I think the good thing with the petrol-led event is that it's more of a London community. So you get to see faces there that tend to be customers and friends, rather than the typical car community, which I've got nothing against, guys, that you see at Modified Nationals and Ultimate Dubs and so on. So different audience there, which is great. I'll ask the question and I'll answer it first this time.
Go for it.
For me, 2 best events of 2024. I love the Players event, the Players Classic. It's a 2-day event at Goodwood, and I think it's the fact that it's the Goodwood vibe. You got the open track on the Saturday, and on the Sunday it's more of a chilled out event. Weather tends to be on our side because it's in June, and it's always an event where a lot of guys and girls tend to build a car and showcase it at Players. Now, some do it at Ultimate Dubs, but there's quite a few cool cars that just rock up at Players for the first time.
Definitely.
Always a great mix of cars. And I also love SEMA. Now, the cars that you see at SEMA, you just don't get to see anywhere else in the world. So for me, those are my personal top 2 events of the year. For you?
So my first one would be Players Classic, definitely. It's a really, really cool place to be. It's outdoors, the sun's shining, you've got cars racing around the track. It's a very cool vibe. But similarly to that, Festival of Speed. But Festival of Speed is a different animal. There's obviously, you've got all the traders there, there's a silly amount of cars and just crazy builds that you'd never see anywhere probably other than SEMA.
Well, that's a great event, and we will be at FOS again next year. Make sure that's one you have to buy tickets for early, because tickets do sell out, whereas all the other events, you can rock up to a gate and just buy the tickets.
Yeah, you're normally fine, but yeah, Festival of Speed, you better get them in quick.
2 or 3 top cars from 2024 from the events outside of CAS. What's memorable for you?
So my first one is going to be from Festival of Speed, and it's the P1 GTR, the carbon fiber one on the from the Lazanti stand. in the box. That thing was awesome, carbon fiber, everything, track spec. That's what I love. So that's really, really cool.
Big ticket item, that.
Oh yeah, definitely. P1's one of my favorite cars anyway, and I mentioned it in the video. But yeah, very, very cool car. The next one is going to be a JDM. That was from Ultimate Stance, and that was the JZX Mark II, the Crown, the two-tone green and grey.
Okay. I didn't go to that event, so yeah.
No, but that was in the video. I'm sure you'll put pictures of it up now. But yeah, that thing was very, very cool. And if you're in the JDM community, I'm sure you're all going to love that car too.
So before I mention my two, I've got to give a big thanks to Chip Tarek for bringing his 1972 W108 to CAS. It was at Gravity, and it was also at Ultimate Stance. We did the air ride install and did the audio install and so on. Now that's a fabulous car. I'm sure most of you have seen it all over social media. We'll be doing something again with Tarek next year, 2025 season. So keep an eye on our channel and his channel for that. Now my two cars, there's a Halo car, just like you've got a Halo car. Now I did not know he was going to have a P1 worth £5 million or whatever it is. It's probably worth more than that?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
okay,
probably.
Whatever it's worth. So my Halo car is actually also from FOS. And Harrison's going to remember this behind the camera. It's the 993 GT2, or 993 GT as it's actually called. It was in the Bonhams auction. You know, the price tag is about £1 million for that car. It didn't sell, didn't meet its reserve, but it's like a true top-end bucket list unicorn Halo car. Very unachievable because there's so few out there. So that's my Halo car. But I'm going to bring it down to earth. Dougie's 190E. Now that car is absolutely special. 2.5 in the black color with that Recaro interior, the AMG monoblocks, just the look, the whole vibe. His touches down to the Game Boy controller. You know, everything about that car is just so cleverly thought out. It's like a creative designing a car and then on paper and then building in the flesh. Absolutely brilliant. Out of those 5 that we've chosen, I'm going to put Dougie's there.
Yeah, I think fair enough. We'll put the JZX on there. Fair
Again,
choice.
let us know what you think, which is the best car out of those two. Hopefully it's Dougie's because that car is sick. Now, in terms of 2025, most of the shows that we've attended this year will be at again for 2025. We're going to add one more show in the mix, which is Ultrace. I've never personally attended that show, and I always get FOMO when I see the pictures. And it's a great show. It's in Poland.
Definitely looks like.
So we will probably be there next year as Cardi Security, Airlift, Exlo, and Slam, and hopefully we'll get 2 or 3 of our cars to Ultrace. In terms of projects, obviously 2024, we've done quite a few CAS projects, but for 2025, we've got 2 special projects. Am I allowed to? I don't know when this video is going out. Okay, so I'm being told I can't tell you guys. Now let's talk about and some of the cars that go through the workshop. Sometimes you'd have a car here for a month because it's an audio air build like that. Mercedes 124 convertible that was here for some time. And that had, well, what was it?
It had everything, basically everything. Air, wheels, audio, exhaust, door builds, everything. Yeah.
I think the wheels alone were like, were they £8,000?
It's just shy of, yeah.
So that was like a 30 to 40K build. And we've had some really big builds throughout the year. What stands out for you?
Oh, of course, that car. So Mick's car was, I mean, it was impeccable. The thing was completely standard, done like 23,000 miles, I think. W124 convertible, completely standard. And he literally bought the car, got it trailered to us, hadn't driven it at all, apart from in the car park a little bit, and then got it straight into the workshop because it was a project that he's been wanting to do for years and his last kind of hurrah for upgrading cars and stuff like that. So that was really nice to do that for him.
And that Merc does stick out for me because he was here for so long. But I'm not going to choose jobs with big tickets like he has. Those are big ticket jobs. I'm going to bring it down a notch. Nick's things are hers. Red 930 turbo, the flat nose turbo.
That was nice.
What a car! You know, one of only 2 in the world, I think. Stupid amounts of power. I can't remember what it was. Something like 450, 500 brake. But it wasn't a budget install, but it wasn't high end. So we're not talking a 10, 20 grand install. It's probably about a £3,000 install, and it sounded absolutely amazing. Okay, very small cabin, so it's quite easy to get a lot of bass and so on, but still tricky enough because you haven't got a lot of space in the door cards and the pockets and so on. That sounded absolutely brilliant. And RS4 B7 Avant.
Yep. I was actually going to mention that as well.
Simple build, but just looked the part. And I think it's just down to color combo and the car.
Yeah.
So, you know, thank you to everyone that's obviously come through the shop and had product fitted and been through our workshop. Appreciate that, because obviously that's what pays for the business. So bring on 2025 and some cool projects, be it our projects or be it your customers' projects. Now, finally, we'll get onto some tech. So we've done shows, we've done CAS events, we've talked about projects. Let's talk about tech and audio. And that is the guru when it comes to tech. Blayde, what's the best tech that you've seen come across your table in 2024, or across your counter, should I say?
The main one that's standing out to me is the new Audison Forza stuff, which is obviously the amplifiers have got built-in processors and stuff like that. You can go 5 channel, 8 channel, 12 channel, but they are so expandable, so easy to use, such good quality. Prices aren't ridiculous for them, and they just work really, really well. And we've done so many installs with them, and it's always given us a fantastic result. The new Hertz MPBX enclosures, fantastic.
They're the compact, slim.
Yeah, they're really slim enclosures. You can get in a 12-inch or a 10-inch, about 600 watts RMS. They absolutely pound, and they are a tiny box. I say tiny, but they are flat. So you can still chuck stuff on top of it in the boot. And they work in almost any car we've put them in, and we've never had any problems with them. They just work really, really well.
I'm going to pick something retro, which was reintroduced this year by JBL, and that is the...
I don't know.
Bass tube. Come on.
Sorry,
it's our
really
most
to what you're saying.
viewed video on the channel.
Yes.
We knew bass tube was a thing in the 90s and the noughties, but we did not know it was gonna become a thing in the 2024s. Yeah. And that video has exploded, and so have the sales. It's not the smallest tube or box. It's quite big, but... Oh, is it behind me? Oh, it's behind me.
Yeah.
But pound for pound, and just the retro looks, oh my God, it absolutely smashes it.
Yep.
Now, for 2025, Xlow suspension, which is our own in-house suspension brand, that has just gone through the roof. The sales of that are just like, we can't keep up. It's predominantly for classic cars, but even that, did the B7
the RS4 did it.
Yeah, we're back to that beef. Something about that RS4.
It's
so that had Xlow suspension and airlift management, and the airlift management is the best management in the world. So it's a nice partnership together to have Xlow and airlift. So you'll see a lot more Xlow on our channel and just everywhere in the UK. Some new products that I know of. Pioneer are bringing out a retro head unit in the middle of 2025. You're all familiar with the Blaupunkt retro head unit. There's 3 models. Well, Pioneer are now jumping on the bandwagon, and I think that's going to outsell the Blaupunkt purely because of looks and the quality of the product, including it's going to have 4 RCAs.
Nice.
Right, so guys, yeah, a little bit different to what we normally bring you guys. I've asked you a few questions. So as Blayde, you know, best cars to remind you, which was the best car at the CAS event? Saab 900 Carlson Turbo.
Saab and then Mark II Escort.
Mark, which is the best car at the CAS events? The other question we asked is, which is the best car at some of the events that we've attended? I said Dougie's 190E, and you said?
I said the JZX Mark III.
So make sure you drop at least 2 comments down below. And guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate you being here for the journey throughout 2024. 2025 is going to be bigger and better. There's a lot more coming your way. Blayde, nice one.
Nice one, thank you.
Make sure you smash the like button.
And don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
There we go. See you on the next one, guys. Done. Boom. I'm gone. Come on, you gooners.